What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, if y'all did not know, women's basketball is thriving in America. And one league that is continuing to make waves in terms of player development and player discovery is Athletes Unlimited Basketball. It features a unique 5-on-5 format, WNBA talent, a single location environment, and accessible games that you can watch. And also, I would say it's really, really good if you just got a new player on your team and they're in AU hoops. Watch AU to get to know them. I'm talking about you Indiana Fever fans. I know some of y'all don't know who Sydney Colson is. Watch AU hoops and you will get to know who she is, okay? So with all of that being said, let's break down everything you need to know about AU Pro Hoops. Athletes Unlimited Basketball, or AU, which I'm probably going to say for the rest of this video, is a professional women's basketball league that takes a different approach to the game. Instead of having traditional franchises with specific team names, AU features 40 players competing in a player-led 5-on-5 format over a 4-week season. Now, here's the twist. Teams, instead of having specific names, instead of having specific logos, the teams change every single week. And that's because every single week there is a new crop of captains that are named. There are 4 captains each week. For week 1, it was randomly generated, the names of the captains. For week 2 and 3, the captains are determined by the top 4 point getters from the previous week. And then for the 4th week, which is the championship week, the captains are determined by the top 4 point earners in the entire season so far. And so that's where it is. 4 captains named every single week. And those 4 captains select their team every single week. They actually have a draft every week where it's team by team, where you're selecting who you want on your team every single week. Now, is there some continuity? Yes, there will be some continuity because, players like to play with each other. Some players play better with other players. And so there will be some sort of continuity, but not necessarily, a requirement at all. And that one of the features about AU that I think is just so awesome is that sort of captain feature and the ability to just see different matchups, because there's sometimes where two players would never play in the WNBA together, but like when seeing them in AU hoops and you're like, oh man, I never saw this sort of dynamic in terms of these 2 players, and AU hoops is really an opportunity for you to see that. So you're interested a little bit and you're wondering, okay, where in the world is AU hoops located? Where is AU? Well, AU basketball has moved around since its inception, but for the 2025 season, it is setting up shop in Nashville, Tennessee, y'all. Nashville, Tennessee, I think is pretty cool because we all know the deep history of Tennessee when it comes to women's basketball. I mean, you got Pat Summitt and what Tennessee has been able to do over the decades. We got the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame that's in Knoxville, Tennessee. And so, Tennessee is a good spot for women's basketball. All games will be played in one spot at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium. Now, if you're like, okay, I need more specifics on how exactly the format works. Well, here's how it works. Players earn points based off of individual performance and team performance. Now, this is one of those things where all the little things, all of the small things that in a game sometimes may get looked over, it matters in AU hoops. So that means you get points for scoring. You get points for rebounding. You get points for assists. It's like points, and more points. If you get voted the MVP of the game, even more points. The top 4 players on the leaderboard each week become team captains and draft their squads for the next week. And the players with the most points at the end of the season is crowned the AU champion. Now, if y'all are curious about past winners, there's some familiar names, right? We got Alissa Gray with the Atlanta Dream. We got Alissa Smith, formerly of the Indiana Fever, now with the Dallas Wings. And we have Tiana Hawkins. So, getting points and doing all the little things for your team is very, very, very important. When we talk about AU hoops, the thing I really, really like is that, every single thing you do on the basketball court just means a lot more. There is no real garbage time because every minute you're out there, you're trying to get points. Because ultimately you want to be the last one standing with the highest amount of points by the end of the season. So it just means a lot more. All right, so we've kind of walked through some stuff to give you a little bit more information, and maybe y'all are wondering, okay, well, who's playing in this league? Who is in this league? Well, it is a mix of current and former WNBA players, as well as players who have never played in the WNBA but are looking for their next opportunity. Players who were good in college but never ultimately played in the W. So the 40-player roster includes 16 players who finished the 2024 WNBA season on a team roster and 15 others who have either had WNBA regular season experience before or were drafted in the WNBA. So in total, 31 players have some sort of relationship with the WNBA. 31 of 40. So like pretty decent stuff. And I want to go through actually every single person who is playing in AU hoops just so y'all can kind of get familiar with these names. And maybe some of y'all are like, whoa, I didn't know that person was on there. I need to check it out and watch. So here is the list of the players for AU. All right, so we got Kenesha Bell, we got Kirsten Bell, who finished the WNBA season for 2024 with the Las Vegas Aces. We got Crystal Bradford, who has spent some good time in the WNBA. We got Lexi Brown, who is with the Los Angeles Sparks. Maya Caldwell, who finished the season with the Atlanta Dream. Alicia Clark, who finished the WNBA season with the Las Vegas Aces. Taj Cole. Sydney Colson, the face of the WNBA, the face of AU basketball, the new face of the Indiana Fever. We got Jamaris Davis, Deasia Fair, Mackenzie Forbes, Rebecca Harris, Ty Harris, who finished the WNBA season with the Connecticut Sun and who is currently with the Dallas Wings. We got Dory Harrison, Izzy Harrison, who finished the WNBA season with the Chicago Sky, Bria Hartley, Sequoia Holmes, Jordan Horston with the Seattle Storm, Angel Jackson, Kara Leslie, Soraya McGuire, Taylor Mikesell, Kia Nurse, who finished the season with the LA Sparks, who is currently with the Chicago Sky, Charisma Osborne with the Phoenix Mercury, Shea Petty, Alissa Pili with the Minnesota Lynx, Teresa Pleasance, Linda Rivers, Victoria Saxton was previously with the Indiana Fever, Jude Schimmel, Shoni Schimmel's younger sister, if y'all remember Shoni Schimmel, Jalen Sherrod, who was with the New York Liberty for 2024, Maddie Siegrist with the Dallas Wings, Megan Simmons, Odyssey Sims with the LA Sparks, who actually just re-signed with the LA Sparks, Asia Sutherland, Asia Taylor, Evina Westbrook, Kristen Williams, Elizabeth Williams with the Chicago Sky, and Desi Ray Young. Those are the players for Athletes Unlimited for 2025. And actually, while we're talking about the players for Athletes Unlimited, one thing I wanted to point out that's very interesting and different for AU is the fact that they have a executive committee, and that executive committee serves on a two-year time frame, and they really do help to kind of shape what AU hoops looks like. Like you talk about Unrivaled and how it's very player-led. AU is exactly that as well. They don't have ownership, but they do have say and influence in ultimately what happens. So with that being said, here are the people who are currently on the player executive committee. We got Lexi Brown, who is the chairperson. We got Rebecca Harris, Teresa Pleasance, Sydney Colson, and Isabel Harrison. So yeah, those are the players who are currently on the executive committee who really are shaping what AU hoops looks like and like changes that need to be made and all that good stuff. All right, so we've gone through the players and talked about it, but if you all are wondering, okay, I know a little bit about it, I know who's in it, but why in the world does this matter? Well, it matters. AU basketball matters because women's basketball players need more opportunities in America to play, develop, and showcase their skills. And the good thing about AU hoops is that it provides a domestic option for players who don't want to go overseas, while also keeping a way to engage with the WNBA and fans during the offseason. So guys, I said it earlier, but only 15 players who are currently in AU is played on the WNBA team in 2024. The reason for AU and the reason why it exists is because it allows players to be seen by WNBA scouts. There's, you can go overseas and you can ball out of control, but at the same time, to a certain level, it's the accessibility of GMs and whatnot being able to see all that you can do with just the amount of teams and countries that are overseas that are playing, right? It could be a little hard to kind of get to know everybody. But the benefit of Athletes Unlimited is that you are in America. The games are available and accessible to all, and so there's more of a chance that you can be seen. Also, it really is a development type of thing. You want to get better at rebounding and passing the basketball and being an unselfish teammate? Athletes Unlimited, because you get points for every pass you make, for every assist you make, right? You get points for every rebound, right? It's not just about the actual physical, ball going in the basket, right? It's not about those literal points that you score. It is the additional, the little things that you do that gives you points that ultimately helps incentivize you being a full all-around teammate. And I think that's actually pretty cool about Athletes Unlimited. And it gives players an opportunity to be scouted by WNBA teams. And there's a lot of players who have previously played in the WNBA, but were not in the WNBA in 2024. Athletes Unlimited is a route to really showcase what you can do. And so, yes, Unrivaled is for players who have already arrived, right? The top of the top ladies in the WNBA play in Unrivaled, or at least that was what they had pegged it to be initially. Whereas Athletes Unlimited, yes, does feature WNBA talent, but in my opinion is more of that WNBA role player type of league, right? So the players who play in Athletes Unlimited, for the most part, are role players and are others who are just looking for that next opportunity. And so that's why in terms of development, I do think it's really good as well. Now, how do you watch AU? Well, there are ways to watch, but you can watch AU Hoops game for free on the WNBA app. You can also catch the 14 games of AU on FanDuel Network, and 10 games will be available on ESPN+. So that's something to note. And if you're curious about who's going to be handling the broadcast, well, it will be Cindy Brunson and Cheryl Swoops. And guys, that is the news. And if y'all are curious about when exactly does AU start, it starts today. The first game is today at 5 p.m. Central Time. And in that, we will see Team Bell take on Team Westbrook again. As I told y'all, captains change every single week and whatnot. But here is the schedule again: Team Bell versus Team Westbrook. If y'all are curious to see who is on both of those teams, for Team Bell, we got Kirsten Bell, of course, Odyssey Sims, Jordan Horston, Mackenzie Forbes, Asia Taylor, Angel Jackson, Kristen Williams, Deasia Fair, Desi Ray Young, and Jude Schimmel. For Team Westbrook, we got Avina Westbrook, of course, Ty Harris, Elizabeth Williams, Bria Hartley, Victoria Saxton, Kia Nurse, Jalen Sherrod, Crystal Bradford, Surya McGuire, and Kenesha Bell. That is who we have in that first game. Again, it is available on ESPN+, also available on the WNBA app. Make sure to check it out. Shout out to Athletes Unlimited. I think it should be really, really awesome to ultimately see. But you can see the games for week 1. Again, they do start today. So, are you planning on watching AU? Are you planning on going out to Nashville to watch the games in person? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I just love the fact that there are more opportunities for women's basketball players in America. I love it. Pro women's basketball is all year round. And I love the fact that, just similar in a way to Unrivaled, Athletes Unlimited, they are making it player-led, right? And Athletes Unlimited has been around for a while, so I'm not trying to say that this is not new. It's been around for a couple of years. Unrivaled is the newbie in the place, but it feels like because Unrivaled has come in, Athletes Unlimited isn't getting as much attention. But I think it's pretty cool. Again, player-led format, and it's a way to just see the game a little bit different, see different matchups. So yeah, what do y'all think about it in the comments? Let me know. Are y'all watching? Are y'all not watching? Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are almost there to 30,000 subscribers. Make sure to tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Love Sports is on the internet talking about the game of women's basketball and doing it with information and actual context. Guys, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.